27 years ago, when I was out of college, I went to my dad and I asked him, Appa, what's the biggest mistake you have done in your life? He looked at me and said, You. I was like, What? And then he said, Ram, when you were born, we didn't have money. I didn't know if I can put food 3 times in the table. I didn't know if I can give you the education that you deserve. I didn't know if I can even give you the basic things that you deserve as a kid in your life. So I was very scared. And I thought, I made a mistake to bringing a life into this world when I'm not capable. But today, looking at you, I can tell you that's the best mistake I did. Right? You are the masterpiece in my life. Now, I can say this because you can't validate this. He's no more. Right? So when the TEDx team came to me and spoke about mistakes that make masterpieces, right? I was very excited. So what I did was I started writing down, all the mistakes, all the mishaps, and everything. I kept writing. Don't ask me to share; it's bigger than Mahabharata. That's when I realized something very interesting. There is this person who's been traveling with me all along my life. This person has been with me in my good times, in my bad times, in my worst times, or even in my best times. Sometimes this person was there when even my shadow wasn't there. And I know for a fact this person is actually standing somewhere here in one of these corners or sitting next to one of you and looking at me. This person's name is Mr. Mistake. He's been my constant companion throughout my life. And when I looked at this Mr. Mistake, I realized this guy has 3 avatars in my life. 3 different avatars. The first avatar, I call him as the intentional Mr. Mistake. This is avatar 1. The second avatar is unintentional Mr. Mistake. And the third is the most interesting one. Perceived Mr. Mistake. So what I thought is, I'll take you guys through a story of all these 3 avatars and how it shaped my life, right? So this was when I finished my 12th. I was a mediocre student. I didn't get much in 12th. But I did write the service commission exam for railways, and I came somewhere in the All India top 5 or something, and I got a job in the railways, right? And my parents are overjoyed. They wanted me to take it. It's a government job, right? But I knew that I'm not an MS Dhoni, right? To go from a ticket collector to a captain. So I tried telling my parents, no, my life is different. They didn't listen. So what I did, I ran away. I wrote a note. I ran away from home because I knew there's a friend in Madras. That time it's Madras, it's Chennai. And he's working, he's having a fabulous time. I thought I'll go stay with him. So I ran. Met a friend, he said, Ram, don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'm working in a supermarket. I'll get you a cashier because you got 99 in your max out. I said, okay, fantastic. Then he took me to the place he was staying. It was a mansion, 10 by 12 feet mansion. I went in there. There were 20 people in that mansion. That room is shared by 20 people. And they had a great system. 10 of them were in the morning shift, 10 of them were in the night shift. So at any point in time, 10 people sleep on the floor, right? And there's hardly place for you to move. That was the first reality of mistake in my life. What have I done to myself? Right? I said, okay, let's just come out of it. Then I join as a cashier, right? That's when I realized I go open the shop at 7 o'clock in the morning. I close at 11, and then the inventory of all the things that came, we sold. By the time we were finished with the inventory, it was 2:30 in the morning. And then we had to walk to the mansion. So we get to the mansion at 4, and then there is a 1 kilometer queue for a toilet, right? Because you have 1 toilet for 50 people. So by the time you sleep, you're actually having to get up. So this was the grind I was going through for over 3 to 4 months. And each day I was asking, what an idiot I was to make the mistakes. And I wanted to go back. But there's this ego inside. Don't let you admit it. Don't let you go back. So I had a choice. Keep talking about this mistake, brooding about it, or make something about it. What I did was, there was a x86 computer that was lying there. Nobody used it. So I spoke to my coworkers and I told them I'm going to build a small inventory software so all of us can finish the inventory work faster. So in 4 to 5 weeks time, I built a very small Fox Pro application where what took us 11 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning, we were able to finish it in 1 hour. So 12 o'clock, we closed the shop and all of us were back to our mansion, which means we got 5 hours of sleep, right? So that my owners saw. And they asked me, what would it take for you to build this bigger, right? So I just asked them for one. I will spend time build it. All I want you guys to do is sponsor my education. At least 50% of my education. The deal was stuck. And that was my first success out of an intentional mistake. That segued into the next, fast forward 10, 15 years of my life. I was looking at, okay, I had a very good corporate career, wanted to start on my own. So this was around 2014, 2015. So I started a very small machine learning AI company. What we were doing is that the problem of India is population, right? Same way, the problem of every corporate company is when they open a job application, you get 40,000 application for one post. So we wanted to solve this problem. So we built a small algorithm where it looks at the profile, right? And then identifies which are the top profiles suitable for this particular vacancy. So the HR of the company doesn't have to go through 40,000 resumes to get to the shortlist. Simple, right? So we built it based on the data these guys had in the previous, last 5, 6 years of data. They gave us the best profile examples. And we started building it, and the algorithm was fantastic. Right? What was happening is that all the shortlist profiles that it had, the HR never rejected. So there was zero rejection from the HR from the shortlist, which means it's a 100% accuracy of the model. And we started immediately, word of mouth started marketing. We started getting calls. One fine day, we realized one HR called up and said, I'm pulling the plug on your algorithm. Right? We asked him what? Ram, you know something? 95% of the profile your algorithm shortlist are men. Only 5% of the profiles it shortlist is women. And do you guys know why it was doing that? It was bias. Our history has bias towards it, right? The profiles, what we were looking at, were all men who have been successful. So it was building a profile based on that, right? We were thinking about what did we do? It's an unintentional mistake we did in building a product itself. That led to a massive, significant failure. From one day, from 50 companies, we came down to 0. Couldn't want to use this, right? But again, that's an opportunity for us. What can we do about this? So we redid this algorithm to actually use this to find bias in other models, right? So we repurposed it so that you can run a model and an outcome, and my algorithm will tell them if there is a bias in this model or not. And that was my first soft exit in my entrepreneurship journey, right? And that started my life. And the life was going really, really good. I was always been a very fit person for whatever my age was. I used to run, I used to do yoga and all that stuff. One fine day, I just couldn't get out of my bed. I was trying hard. I was not able to get out. I was thinking maybe I'm in some kind of a dream, interstellar kind of a Christopher Nolan's world. But I realized it was a reality, and I was coughing, and my white shirt was full of red color. Basically, I was coughing blood, right? And I had to call the doctors, and then 7 days went through multiple tests, and I was diagnosed with lung cancer stage 2, right? And the doctor said, this is a very aggressive cancer. Things are going to be very difficult. You will have to go through massive surgeries, chemotherapy. Your life is going to change. It did change. From running 5 kilometers, sprint, to not able to get out of your bed, to crawl to your toilet, not even able to call people for help. So life just came back. And the key question that was running in my mind was, I never smoked, never had a cigar in my life, I took a drug in my life. Don't even stand next to somebody who is smoking. Why did I get lung cancer? Why me? What is this? Why did God do this mistake to me? It's a perception of mine. It's a perceived mistake. There is some mistake. Somewhere this universe made a mistake and gave me this lung cancer. Why? So this really brought me down. Physically, mentally, I was drained out. And luckily, I met one of a very good professor in the US. At that time, I was in the US. And he said, Ram, I'm not going to advise you. I'm going to give you a small example. He was involved in a clinical trial study where they had put in kidney stone patients, 40 of them. And 1 centimeter and above, it's a very bad pain. Somebody who's got 1 centimeter kidney stone, it's like an epidural pain, pregnancy pain, right? And 20 people, they gave them vitamin water, but they told them it's morphine. Morphine reduces pain, right? And the other set of 20 people, they actually gave morphine. And they said, we have given vitamin water, right? And the output was that the person who took vitamin water but said we had morphine, they reported higher degree of pain reduction, right? So people call it placebo, there are multiple things. So all he told me was, there is something called power of the brain, power of thought. Never underestimate it. That was a big impact in my life. That day, I stood up. I said, no. Cancer for me is not a disease. It's my friend. It's an opportunity for me where God is trying to show me how powerful, how tough I am. This is an opportunity. I'm going to take this as a challenge. I've overcome business challenge. Why not overcome this? Embrace this. The moment I started embracing cancer, instead of fighting, I started creating a holistic path of treatment. It's an ensemble of multiple things, treatments, yoga, pranayama, to multiple other things. And today, I can tell you guys, I just finished a 28-kilometer Girivalam walk. I'm standing in front of you guys. Right? So, if you look at this, the way I always see it, and he also asked this question, is there anybody here who's never made a mistake? Can you put up your hand? Who's never ever made a mistake? Anyone? Okay. I don't see any hand coming up. That's a proof mistakes are not the end of the world, right? All of us are sitting here. So one of my mentors used to say, Ram, we always look at mirrors, but there is something called as an invisible mirror that only you can see, and it actually shows who you really are, not what the actual mirrors show. In my case, I see mistake as an invisible mirror. This friend is holding this invisible mirror, who is showing us what is the path, who is propelling us, and is trying to help us to become the masterpiece each one of us are destined to be. Thank you.